What's up, world? It's your boy Des. Get things set up here. Get ready to get the episode started. Let me set me up here. Getting the video. Got some lighting. Oh yeah, I do have a green screen, folks. I do have a green screen, just haven't got it all set up yet. That's coming though. Oh shit, hold on. Alright, I'm back. So, I'm going to be streaming live. It's going to be just me tonight. Tonight's episode, it's going to be really just two topics. Two and a half. So, 2.5 topics, and get ready to start it here. The last episode, let me see. So last episode was Killer Mike killing the Grammys. On that episode, we talked about the Book of Eli, Super Bowl Sunday, Benzino reigniting his beef with Eminem, LeBron signing a deal with DraftKings, talked about some border security, beef shortages, which I told y'all about. Or we started talking about maybe 6 months ago, so maybe almost a year ago at this point. And then the Killer Mike arrest. So I doubt I'll catch the whole episode live on the recording because my phone is a little bit low right now. But you will all, as usual, you can catch the audio online as well. And I'm getting ready to go ahead and get started here. What's up, world? It's your boy Des, back again with Wannatalkabout. And tonight's topic, we got Super Bowl winnings and 2 interviews. Well, 1 interview and 1 song that I wanted to kind of go over tonight. So it is just me tonight, your boy Des. Again, that's with space, boy with an I, space Des. Actually, no. Oh, I said it wrong. It's your boy, no spaces. Your boy Des. Again, your boy Des, no spaces. It's on YouTube. Also, the Lawn Warrior on Facebook. Karmicdez 85 on Instagram and TikTok. Then there's also the Wanna Talk About It with the boy Des and the crew Instagram page and the Facebook page or the Facebook group. So definitely tap into those. Conversations there, and I've actually started to post promotions from people who are doing things in the neighborhood or in the community that want to share, because I think it adds to the conversation, you know. Look, I was looking for my lighter. Here we go. What else here? What else? Oh man. We do want to shout out the rest of the crew real quick. We got Teddy Grams, the Happy Hungry Munchies, and follow him at the Barefooted Collector on TikTok, I believe, and on Instagram now. We got the Gardening Angel, Dwayne, Reinvigorate Services with Rayanne, Serenity's Kiss, Kim, she's doing great with the candles and all the apothecaries. K Jones is in Jamaica right now. I told him we need to get an episode, but he probably gonna be dodging. He probably gonna be dodging after that Super Bowl loss. Who else am I missing? Sam Bam occasionally will pop in, and I believe that's all the regulars there. So got that out the way. Let's see, current events. So my next few episodes are probably gonna be really current events. I want to kind of flesh out the more episodes on like principles and life lessons type deal. So still working on those. So instead of listing these as current events episodes, I'm just going to start giving them nice little titles that'll cover like the broad scope of what we discussed in the episode. So with that being said, I'm going to be jumping right into it here. So I'm going to update I had kind of like two topics I thought would kind of carry me through the episode tonight, but I am going to add a third, and that's going to be more current events than the last two, and that's the Super Bowl. So Kansas City did win 25-22, beating the San Francisco 49ers in Atlanta for the Super Bowl this year. The game itself, I kind of figured it'd be a hard-fought game, defensive game, low-scoring game. It was 25-22. My estimation was 14-17. And I actually picked San Fran to win because I thought they had more weapons across the field than Kansas City had across the field. Apparently, that didn't matter. As long as you got Patrick Mahomes, you'll be okay. Now, Christian McCaffrey did his thing. He was grinding it out, but they did stop using him and getting him the ball that often, which may contributed to the loss. Who knows? There were times Brock Purdy didn't get the ball completed in order to save the downs. And also, Brock Purdy's not nearly as fast as I thought he was. I mean, there were linemen hawking this guy down. My brother watched a running back. No, not my brother. Me and my brother watched a linebacker tell this guy from off screen to get the tackle. So we were just, yeah. Speed isn't there. But these things he works on. You can get some more speed. He's definitely got to be able to turn. He's definitely got to be able to keep the downs going. If they're planning to get a Super Bowl such as Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs did. The whole Taylor Swift controversy thing. Not gonna lie, because I didn't watch the whole game. I missed pretty much all the first half. So people say there was a lot of panning back and forth to Taylor Swift, and I didn't see that much until nearly more than like towards the end of the game. And there was Ice Spice there. And I know everybody, a lot of people when I got off when the game was done, get on Facebook, and people were like, "What the hell is Ice Spice doing there?" But apparently, I found out today that Taylor Swift and Ice Spice are best friends or buddies. I don't know how that goes. Celebrities at the football games happens all the time. So maybe Ice Spice was there of her own volition. Who knows? Taylor Swift and Ice Spice, no. Maybe everybody in that booth knows. Maybe the NFL knows, according to some people who believe it's scripted. Yeah, it did seem kind of fanciful. Travis Kelce puts in all this work in front of his lady. They win a Super Bowl. It gets the big kiss. They're both crying, and they walk off into the sunset. It does seem kind of movie-ish. I give you that. As far as scripting the game itself, I still need more convincing. Do I have any stats? I should have pulled up stats for you guys. I know Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy were fairly even stats-wise. It's just, again, you got to be able to pull it out. Deebo Samuel, we know coming into the game, was not 100%. And he had a few drops, and I'm supposing he was targeted. I would have done the same thing if I'm a defensive coordinator, and I know one of your guys may not be 100%. We're going to hit him and hit him often. Kittle had went out near the end with a shoulder injury, but he came back probably like a stinger or something. But overall, with the parts I saw, decent game. Just some mistakes made. Getting into the crux of today's topics, I want to talk about. I don't know if you heard this song with Tom McDonald and Ben Shapiro called "Facts." I did send the link out to the group, so I hope hopefully they'll listen to it. And we'll be able to discuss and get some feedback and take what we can from the song. But I've already done a little bit of that myself here. Oh, look, I got the board. So yeah, the topics were getting it kind of in depth, and I wanted to make sure that I was pulling as much as I can that I think is valuable information from these topics, so that we can get it to you guys and also discuss it as a group. Let's see. Again, the name of the song is Facts, and he starts off. Tom McDonald starts off, addressing the gender issue. He says right out the bat, there's two genders, man and woman, or male and female. I'm not particularly sure in the verbatim words he used, but that is what he was getting at there. It's crazy when that's a bold statement in today's world, that there are two genders. I understand people, they're LGBTQ pronouns and all that. But I also believe in reproduction. I also believe in generative things, things that generate, the betterment of society. I believe in those things. So when you're telling me, that okay, two men want to be together, cool, fine, right? You want to adopt kids, cool, fine, right? But you can never generate them of your own DNA. I mean, maybe one day we can. I don't know, the DNA splicing, genetic therapy, but without the intervention of something technological or magical, it can't be done. And that's the side that I lean more towards. So he definitely addressed that. He also addressed pronouns. He would like to be called a he. Let's see. He also addressed stereotypes and labels. I'm trying to remember some of the stereotypes and labels he used. Black, white, straight, gay. He used all these labels. And ultimately what he was asking is, especially in the case of black and white, if the government and the economy is kicking your ass and the government and the economy is kicking my ass, then how are we different? Why is he as a white person seen as a bad guy, and when the actual bad guy would be the government and the people who are pushing this new agenda? Because as citizens of America, if we're not part of the gang, we're being pushed around by the gang, so to speak. And to separate, to cause more division within that group of people who are, oppressed, repressed, and pushed around, he's saying that doesn't make sense. We should fight together, right? And that, that makes sense. And we can handle the rest of the details later. And then Ben Shapiro. I actually liked Ben Shapiro's verse. His voice is unique. I'm not gonna say it's not. I mean, it could be annoying. I can understand how it could be annoying. It's definitely unique. Definitely something new on a hip hop song. And what he was addressing was, issues he voiced concerns about what he saw or what he interprets the hip hop community as. And, he referred at one point to the hip hop community as a bunch of wops. Weak ass pussies. Not wet ass pussies. Weak ass pussies, right? And he was saying that in regards to the fact that, let me see if I have any notes on that. He was in regards to like the glamorous world that hip hop tries to portray, when hip hop, the community that supports hip hop, is struggling. or fighting, whatever you want to call it, right? And I'm guessing he feels that hip hop artists should stand up and show, I guess, a different way. Which there are artists out there that are standing up and doing that. Toby Nwigwe, one of my favorite artists right now, and he's just not. It's not what the mainstream wants, and that's a big Crit talked about when he was out here tough. Is that the mainstream they want what they want. So yeah, you can call for it, but the people in power who pay for these artists to be put out there in front of all of us, it's their decision at the end of the day. Until those that we have in positions with the financial assets to do so from our own community start to push those images, and that's one of the things that I fight against. Like when Empire came out, yeah, great show, gave black people great opportunity, but what was the message we were sending out with the show Empire? That we can only make money by being dirty? That families are, rabid dogs after each other? And I remember telling my mom, I missed the days where it was like Family Matters on TV, Full House, even though Full House wasn't a black TV show, but Family Matters, even Moesha, right? And she was kind of, like, no, why would you want those shows? And my response is, to me, they were entertaining, and they definitely had a positive image of the black family. So those are the two things that attracted me to those shows. Yeah, Family Matters. The Winslow's didn't particularly like Steve, but he was family, right? They went to bat for Steve when they needed to. Well, let's see here. And then the last verse, Tom McDonald rounded out the song, and he just wanted to address, he proclaimed that he might get canceled for that song. They might come at him for that song, but he wants that smoke because why? He's not a victim. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's saying, and he's not apologetic about it because it's true and it's facts. And when it comes to facts, anybody can look up the facts. How you interpret it, that's up to you. The facts are the facts. So going into now the Vladimir Putin interview, Tucker Carlson had gone to Russia and scheduled an interview with the president, Vladimir Putin. I listened to it. It was it's about 2.5 hours, translated, of course, because I don't know any Russian. And so I couldn't tell you if he was, being genuine, or if the translators were, being honest or whatnot. But I did listen. This is the second, actually, like this. I watched Putin's address, I believe, at the end of last year, and so now I'm watching this interview. And the reason I keep going back to these Putin interviews and addresses is because he's saying things that make sense to me as a man and as a countryman, a man of my country. I'm an American, so I guess there's some nationalism there, but it comes from the philosophy of take care of home first, which I think I'm jumping ahead here. So at one point, Vladimir Putin does kind of ask Tucker Carlson. He was like, we're doing what we're doing, but because based off of the history that we have with Ukraine. And he did spend about 45 minutes breaking down the history of Russia and Ukraine. And to the untrained ear, to anyone who doesn't know a lot of Russian history, he may, seem like they say, encyclopedic knowledge of the history and the interaction between the two countries. And so he basically said he just wants to restore old Russia, and America keeps getting in the way. And America and Europe, the Britain particularly, keep getting in the way. He was saying that the war would have been over like a year and a half ago. And even at this point, the war would be over in a week if we would just stop helping them. And then he goes on to ask Tucker Carlson, why do they keep interfering? Why does America keep interfering anyway? We're $33 trillion in debt. We can't control our borders. And we have a huge social issue going on right now. A bunch of social division going on right now. So it doesn't seem like we have time to really worry about what the rest of the world has going on. And I agree with that statement. Take care of your own first. Now, I don't know what the conditions are like living in Russia, but that philosophy is very sound to me. The idea is you can't take care of everybody else or anybody else until you can take care of yourself. And right now, America's not taking very good care of itself. So, Tucker Carlson also asked him about essentially the expansion that they've been doing, because I believe it was 2012, around that time they started to go into Georgia too. So what Putin was saying is that, again, he just wants to restore old Russia. He has no interest in Poland. They've got nothing they want. Got no interest in, was it Latvia? Right, got no interest in Latvia either, because they have nothing they want. Sounds good. So, all we can do at this point is really take the man at his word for it. Because, once again, as Americans, we've got bigger fish to fry. At home, particularly. Let's see here. U.S. take care of home first, $30 a check. He did refer to this whole propaganda campaign against Russia as a type of hysterics, which I thought was an interesting use of words, because the word hysteria, if you know anything about the word hysteria, historically was only used for women. In men, it's called mania. So if he's calling a group of men hysterical, like I said, in my mind, what I heard is calling them a bunch of women, a bunch of pussies, a bunch of wops, weak ass pussies. Crazy. And how can you blame them? For those of us living in America on my side of the societal markers or indicators, whatever you want to call it, America hasn't been the best, but I can't think of any place that may have been better. So, let's see here. Yeah, it looks like he also wanted to address, he had issues with the Canadian Prime Minister, because he broke it down in an interview. Apparently the Canadian Prime Minister has ties to old Nazi Germany. So his whole, another motivator for him was the neo-Nazi movement. He feels that the Nazis aren't dead, or the Nazi party isn't dead, the Nazi philosophy isn't dead, because a lot of the participants in that philosophy are still alive and in high levels of government, particularly here in America. And he felt that he noticed NATO was moving in, And that was against the accords that they signed in 1991 when they split the USSR up. And he knows that with NATO's coming in, that means America's moving in. And how would you feel having your enemy on your border at all times? That's how Vladimir Putin is expressing his feelings right now. So in order to prevent that, a buffer zone would be, Ukraine. Ukraine would be a good buffer zone. Again, considering Ukraine, at least most of it, was at one point Russia. And he was stating that the only reason that the USSR agreed to the treaty was in order to repair relationships with those NATO countries in order to eventually work its way into NATO. He also stated that at this point, that's not a concern of his. His concern is taking care of his country. Let's see here. Now, Tucker Carlson also asked him about the bombing. I can't remember what the names of the places were, but I believe they were like bridges or crossings or power plants, something to that effect, right? And he asked Putin who did it. And Putin simply replied, by pointing his hands out at Tucker Carlson as if he had done it. And Tucker Carlson was like, no, I didn't do it. And, the translation was that, well, I'm not saying you did it, but you have an alibi, but the CIA doesn't, is what he was saying. And he was saying the same thing that I've been saying for the past few months now, that it's been hammered in my head. Situations like that, or when occurrences like that, events like that happen, you got to find out who's interested or who's invested. And he added another wrinkle to that. Not only who's interested or invested, who's capable of pulling off something of that nature or an event like that. And he was saying that the CIA is definitely capable and interested. And Tucker Carlson's response was, why doesn't he just release that information? Why doesn't he put it out there? And, this is where, Putin touches on what I've been touching on for the past few months now. Who runs the propaganda machine, or who dominates the propaganda machine across the world? America. So America is the main profiter of all media across the world. So Putin's argument is that, he could put out, the propaganda, but to where? And to who?